Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Jonathan Acuna, digital marketer. Today, we're going to learn how to get 10, 15, or more predictable sales appointments without having to post content, rely on cold calling, or even do referrals because all that is drying up. It is basically 2024. How are businesses in 2024 getting digital or getting leads online? What digital tools are they using to scale their operations, and how are they working smarter and not harder in this new age? So let's start off with who this is for. Pretty much if you sell a local service, a business, coach, consultant, but this doesn't work for is if you do e-commerce. Doesn't work for e-commerce, unfortunately. This is just for service-based businesses. But this is basically going to say that for the next 40 minutes, I'm going to show and I'm going to share more in this 40 minutes than you'll learn in an entire college education. So the only thing that I ask for is just your attention for the next 40 minutes. Have a pen and paper ready by the side because you're going to want to take lots of notes. There's going to be what I call money ideas, meaning you're like, oh man, that's a great idea. I didn't think about that. Write it down, and then you could take action on that after. Because at the end of the webinar, basically what I want you to do is learn one thing that you can apply to your business to start getting more clients or working smarter, not harder. Who am I? I'm Jonathan Acuna, digital market. Well, I used to call myself a digital marketer, but now I'm just calling myself a technology coach for businesses, because there's so much that businesses need in today's technology. We all depend on our laptops, our phones. So it's not just by improving a business's marketing can they generate more revenue, but also improving their technology and their training can also help the business owner do in an hour what would take them months. So that's something I love to do. Let's start off this. I highly recommend this exercise. If you have a pen and paper, we're just going to write down four numbers, and then we're going to add them at the very end to total where are you today in your business and where do you need to be, basically. So this starting off, you're going to rate yourself on a 1 to 5 in these 5 areas because you, as the business owner, are responsible for these 5 areas. And I find the more involved the business owner is in these 5 areas, the more dependent their business is on them and their activity to generate revenue. So if you want to make more money and scale, we need to remove you from the business so that the business operates completely independent of you. So this is a great little survey that I created so that, hey, let's do a marketing audit on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 being you are very deeply involved in posting content, creating the ad campaigns, doing the marketing strategy, or 5, you have a completely system, or you have basically a lead acquisition system that you have an offer that brings in leads for a 2x ROI on your marketing. You want at least double the revenue that it brings in, so that it costs you to get that client, so that you can, 1, pay yourself, and then 2, pay your marketing budget back so that it breaks even, starting off bare minimum. So then number 2, sales, because marketing just gets people to raise their hand, gets them qualified, gets them in your CRM, basically. The next step is for your sales process or your sales team or your appointment setter to follow up with the leads. I get so many complaints that, John, the leads are bad. John, I call them after 5-10 minutes and they don't pick up the phone. John, I text them after 5 minutes and they don't pick up. These leads are bad. Google is bad for advertising, or Instagram is a waste of time for advertising. Wrong. You need to improve your sales operations. You need to have a sales process of 2 things. 1, you need a systemized process to follow up with the lead within 1 minute. I'll say that again, within 1 minute. If you wait longer than 1 minute to respond back to your lead, congratulations, you just donated that lead to your competition, because your customers have 14 tabs open, you're tab number 2, and if you didn't pick up the phone or answer based on your form, then they just go to the next tab, and you, within 1 minute, you've lost that sale. So that's how competitive it is online to get leads. So you don't want to be involved in your sales process. You want, 1, an appointment setter to follow up with the leads and to book to an appointment, and then 2, you want an offer on that sales call so that the leads are incentivized to say yes. And then you also have a downsell for the ones that say no, because you won't close 100% of all sales. You want to shoot for at least 50% of sales closing. So that you want, number 5 would show that you have a sales script, the exact words you say on a call for a prospect to get them to say, oh my God, yes, you are the right decision. Here, take my money. I love to get this result that you talk about. Let's go to number 3, fulfillment, because now you got the marketing, got people interested, aware of the problem, interested in, or now they're knowledgeable that you are the potential solution. And then sales collect the money, answered any questions, pretty much onboarded them. And now fulfillment. It's time for you to get that client the result that they paid you for, or the result that you're selling at the end of the day. So number one, are you involved as a business owner in that fulfillment? You have to go and look for the house. You have to go and cut the hair. You have to go and search for the inventory part number or piece in the back. You don't want to be involved in fulfillment. You want a team to start taking off all that responsibility so that you could scale. So how involved with you? Number 5 being that you have a team managing. And then lastly, I call this the owner vacation rule or check, meaning how many months can you take away from your business or off as vacation and the business continues to generate revenue. Most business owners can't take a day off the business because the business is solely dependent on their marketing, them doing sales, them doing fulfillment, them doing back office, that they cannot take a time off. That is a very dangerous place to be. So you need to start from the top and start systematizing marketing, then systematizing sales, then systematizing fulfillment. And then you can start getting to number 5, where you're like, you could take a 6-month break and the whole business generates revenue continuously without you. So rate yourself on a 1 to 5, 1 being I'm very involved in the business and fulfillment of the task of marketing, sales, or fulfillment, or 5, it's completely automated, systematized, documented, and my team is trained on it and they're performing to metrics that I set. So if you are between 4 to 8 as your score, the business is heavily reliant on you. So there's lots of 2 things that you want to focus on. 1 is delegation, 2 is systematizing, and 3rd is automation, which we'll get into in this webinar. Number 2 is if you're between 9 to 10, then it's moderately dependent on you. You're doing great. Now we need to improve our team, our skill set for our team, and our processes that they're following, basically the business playbook. 13 to 16, you got a good automation, got a good system, got a good offer, business is making money, you're not wearing all the hats, this is nice, but you still are the what I call a firefighter, where people are coming to you to put out this fire. And lastly, you want to get to, at the end of the year, this will be the goal, is 17 to 20, where the business is fully systematized, your team is trained, everything is automated, and you could take a step back from the day-to-day operations so that the business continues to generate revenue without you. So highly recommend do your score, because at the very end of this webinar, this is what this webinar is going to approve. With our limited time, we're going to focus just on marketing, because a lot of businesses come and just go, hey, I need more clients. That's my first problem that I need solved. So let's focus on that first. Number 1, if you're struggling to get clients or get leads or get sales, you're probably spending money on ads and not getting ROI. If you're not running ads, you need to be running ads. You're relying on referrals, but that's not consistent. You're attending networking events, but that's exhausting. And then lastly, you're posting tons and tons of content, but no one is following up with you to, or even check out your website. So what is the process to generate leads online? This is my 4-step process I call my profit flow system, where in 4 steps, these are the things that you need to have in check and I would say connected, so that you can start turning clicks into sales online. Let's start with number 1, precision targeting. Who is the person, the specific gender, age, demographic, industry, job title, niche of that person that your product or your service solves? A lot of businesses want to sell the men, sell the women, sell the people in their 20s, sell the people in their 50s, sell the kids. And the more you are so ambiguous about who is that your product or your business is designed to serve, the less revenue you will create, and it'll be very hard for you to scale or grow or get traction, because you're trying to be something to everyone and it's not helping you. So simplify your products and services. Start with just one product, one service, and then build that up to 10K a month. Everything else is a distraction up until that 10K a month metric, and then you can move on to systematizing. So what are the 3 questions I like asking business owners to say? Do they have a grasp on who they help? And for example, you should have a great metric is you should have a 1-sentence elevator statement. For example, I worked with a fitness coach. Her elevator statement we designed was, I help women in their 20s and 30s lose 10 to 25 pounds in 90 days. in one sentence. Now you know who they are, who they help, and how they help them. So that's what you want to do. Who is that specific person? Name, age, gender, job description, interests, hobbies, and then number two. This is the most important thing. This is going to this is going to determine if the people are like, I could buy your service, but I got groceries for kids. I got that nice vacation that I'm saving up for. It's not a priority in my life. So, how do you find a product or service that is a priority in their life? That's the number two. You want to find out what is the specific problem that you help them solve. What is the result? What are the objectives, or what is the outcome? They're not buying the TSA trip and trying to like get sitting crammed coach. They just want Maui. They just want the end trip, the end result. And then number three, how is your product or service different than what they've tried previously but didn't get the results? So they've tried different fads, different diets. It had fitness and nutrition, but it didn't have accountability, for example. And so your program does fitness, nutrition, and accountability. So it's like we have step three, the three things that they're missing in. So you want to define that, because that is going to determine all your marketing copy, the pictures of the images that you show in the ads, even showing a male versus a female in the ad will kill your conversion if you're targeting females too. So that's how specific you want to be in your ads. Number two, marketing gets people in, they're qualified. Number two, sales has some qualification questions. These are the top three. Then you'll probably add one or two nuance that to your business. So number one is like, are they the decision maker? The worst is that you're spending time on a sales call and they have to talk to their boss, spouse, or significant other. That is a waste of time. So you want to make sure they are the decision maker. They are responsible for deploying capital or access to credit or funds so that they could buy your product or service. They don't have to ask for a significant other and then you have to do the whole sales process all over again for some other person. No. Find out if they're the decision maker. Then you go number two, do they have access to the funds or credit? That's what you want to check within the next 3 days. And then lastly, this is determined based on the problem priority. Is this a high enough problem for them? A lot of people are selling products that are a nice to have. It's not a necessity. It's not a like I need this I need this water to live kind of like. So you need to frame your product, either pick a product or service that's in demand or that solves a significant problem, or B, in your marketing you answer this question: what are the top three things that keep your customers up at night? One of those three things is one of the biggest pain points, and that's what you'll use as the highest problem. For example, someone just got diagnosed with diabetes, and so now they have a significant life health event, and so now their health is a very, very big priority. And so now they're going to be looking for coaches and trainers and fads and diets and pills and workout programs, everything under the sun to try and get rid of or reduce their diabetes. So you want to pick a very big problem for them. I like this. What are three things that keep them up at night, and what is the desired outcome? Because that is how you communicate your problem or service. Do you struggle with this? Great, we have this ailment, this solution, this quick I want to say like quick fix, but we have the path towards the guaranteed result. Now that you took the time to research this person, research their problems, know everything about them, and then position your product or service that you're like, yep, this meets all of the qualifications of what they need. Where are your customers hanging out? This is going to be determined one based on, okay, number one, everyone's hanging out on Instagram and TikTok. This is that kind of like the pro tip of really beneficial of like attending these live webinars every week, is that you get the latest up to date like what's going on in industry trends. Number one, this is probably the most valuable tip on this call: create reels and stories and their ads. Create ads that are reels and stories. Create ads that are reels and stories. I'll say again, create ads that are reels and stories and post them on Instagram or TikTok. Instagram's trying to compete with TikTok with reels, and so they're promoting their stories and stuff way over post. You'll get a lot more traffic, especially on your ads, especially if you boost too. TikTok the same. TikTok changed everything for everyone, so everyone's trying to play to TikTok standard. Do not discount TikTok as far as a lead gen. Your customers are there for entertainment at the end of the day. So if I were to have a billboard on two places where my customers are, where they're where there's a lot of traffic, it's going to be on Instagram or TikTok at the end of the day. Facebook is kind of, it's still there, but I wouldn't fully depend on it. And then lastly, I'm going to throw is offline. Not everything is online. Where are your customers hanging out offline? Actually, let me reverse back. For Facebook, you actually want to check out Facebook groups that your customers are in that group because they're trying to look for some experts, some advice, some help. They need support. And so there's lots of Facebook support groups that you could join, and you're not promoting, do not promote, but you are there to be the expert in the room so that if anyone over a period of time, they're like, "Oh yeah, John is really good at digital marketing and technology. You should go DM him. He's gonna fix your problem. Trust. Don't get on tech support. You're gonna waste hours. They don't know what they're talking about. Go talk to John. Just DM him. He's really quick." So lastly, offline. Meetup is a great place for offline, but again, this is also going to be determined on your demographics. Meetup is usually 40 and older. TikTok is 20 to 30. I'm sorry, no. Instagram is 20 to 30. 28 to like 30. 28 to 40 ish. Facebook is 40 plus, and TikTok is everything under the sun. Unfortunately, everyone has TikTok, but that's where the eyeballs are, unfortunately. Let's talk about a value ladder. What do you offer them as your product or service? John, I have a $500 product. John, I have a $1,000 service. John, I have a $50 product, but none of it's selling. How do I generate sales for my product or service? This is what's called a value ladder. It's going to sequentially order your products or service based on the price. Free on the left, more expensive on the right. On the left hand side, it takes them a lot of time to get the value because they're consuming free content. On the right hand side, if they spend $5,000-$10,000, they could get the problem solved instantly. So what you're doing is you're separating your products or services into tiers and then filling in the gaps. That's most important, is filling in the gaps. Because if you have a product that's, let's say, $1,000 or more, but you don't have a lead magnet or a free tier, you don't have a low ticket offer, and you don't even have a mid ticket offer, you're going to do a lot of selling. You're going to do a lot of marketing, because basically, so you want to think of it like marriage or dating. You're basically walking up to a stranger and saying, "Hey, do you want to spend $1,000 with me?" The person's going to freak out. They're like, "I don't know you. Where'd you come from? $1,000? That's a huge commitment. I got to get to know you. You got to take me out. You got to date me." So that's what you're doing, is you're dating your customers. You're slowly building trust over time on their terms, or basically on their budget. So I do 2 low ticket tiers. Well, one is your free lead magnet. PDFs are dead. The only lead magnet that exists is video, and the only type of video that exists as for a lead magnet is a video sales letter. Everything else is waste of time. Let's see. Before 2023, websites and text dead. We saw the trend. We were moving everything over to VSLs in 2023. Now, everything in content, no one's reading articles, no one's reading text. Everyone's consuming 1 minute or less, or 1 minute to 2 minute to 5 minute maybe video content. TikTok changed the game for everything. So now you have to adapt. Now you have to be very skilled as a business owner for creating consistent content. That is now a mandatory if you want to have a online presence. When we say online presence, it's not like having Google reviews anymore. People don't care about your Google reviews. People don't care about your website and how nice it is. What they want to see is your content game. How much content are you pumping out? Is it good quality? Do you know what you're talking about? Or do you have no content, no social media profile, and thus do not exist online? And so your leads or competition is going to go straight to, or that sale just goes straight to your competition. Whoever has the biggest social media presence or consistently sharing content online is going to win the game in 2024. So get on that content game, consistently creating content, video content. They need to consume, we're going to call it the 1 hour rule. They need to consume 1 to 2 hours of content, either on your social media page, 1 minute videos or 20-minute tips or something like that, or a video sales letter. Exactly what this is. This is a 40-minute VSL, basically. So where you're basically going to build trust over time and then pitch at the very end. Same thing what I'm going to do. But what we're doing is we're showing expertise. We're helping the person at the end of the day, saving them from Googling and just wasting time trying to find all the resources online. That's what the seminar, or doing a seminar, basically is doing, is helping them out. So I recommend a low ticket offer of $20 to $49. That's like a Amazon ebook for like on Amazon for $20, or like an e-course 2-hour crash course that's already recorded in a couple PDFs for like $49. What their customers are doing are two things that they're testing. Number one is they're testing, if I give you $20 or $50, will you scam me? Because everyone, it's just part of life, unfortunately, part of the process. Everyone has gotten scammed online. There are so many scammers online. So people are cautious of their how much when they deploy the capital. They don't want to lose all their money. They want to give it to someone who's trustworthy. And so that's what they're doing first. If they give you $10, $100, or basically a low ticket, $10, $50, under $100, they're willing to risk. Are you going to scam them, or boom, you're going to give them value? Boom, you give them value. That's awesome. Check's number one. The second check that they're doing is, if I give you $10 or $50 of say my money, am I going to get 3 times more value back in time or knowledge or process, or pretty much process or knowledge or skill, basically. That's what they're testing, because that's going to incentivize them when you over deliver, incentivize them to go up to your $100 tier. They're like, man, I got so much. I read EOS book for like $20, and that gave me such a framework that now I could systematize my business and go from operator to owner. Worth $20 the book, worth every penny. I can't wait for his $1,000 course to take, because man, that thing generated X amount of revenue for my business. Here's an example of dentists. Dentist is going to hit you with the cosmetic $5,000 right off the bat. No, they're going to come in. Come on in for a teeth cleaning. It's only $50. We'll do your teeth cleaning. Oh, and then during our evaluation, you know what? Drink a lot of coffee? Yeah, it looks like, and you're on camera too. You should check out our whitening kit. It will, one, make you look good on camera. They're not saying, hey, do you want whiter teeth? They're like, no. Your profession is, you're on camera. You are your own public brand. So your face is your image. Your smile is part of your brand. That is an asset. Don't you want to invest in your asset? Oh, now you're helping me make more money being a public figure, public speaker, than just a teeth whitening sales. But pretty much you're just sequentially ordering your offers. Let's talk about offers. Mafia offers. I now call them Groupon offers. When you sell a product or service, your product or service is a commodity. It is price shopped like everything else online. And so your customers know you, your product, your price, what you're going to deliver, and how to get it 3 times cheaper from some guy named Juan who doesn't even have a website, for example. So you want to, in one sentence, and using this framework, create an irresistible offer. Every time you offer a product or service, when you pitch, you are pitching it as an irresistible offer. What is that, John? You are saying in one sentence, what is the desired result that they're going to get? What is the time it's going to take them? And who this is for. So, for example, Jim teaches memory enhancing, speed reading. There's so much that he teaches, which is awesome. So in this one, he's going to say, hey, how to read 300% faster and more effective in just 21 days. So in his market, he knows that it takes more than 21 days for other products or services to get that result. And so he's guaranteeing it in a shorter period of time. So in one sentence, it's not just a speed reading course that you could go on Google and find. It's actually the speed reading is going to help you get 300% faster and more effective, and it's going to do it in 21 days. So you want to explain what is the ideal result, and in the time that it's going to get them, that's going to communicate the value. And then look at the price that he's doing. It's $197. It's under $200, and he's doing that as his low ticket offer to get in. It doesn't cost him anything to fulfill. It's probably 4 or 5 hours of content, a couple PDFs, same thing, but it gets people in. It's going to build trust at the end of the day. Your product or service at the end is also a commodity. So the customers want to know, what are they getting for that value or for that price? The more that you break it out and communicate the value, the more that you're increasing the perceived value that they're going to get by just breaking down the steps that they're going to do. Step 1, we're going to set up your account. And then all the way at the very end, then we're going to show you the secrets of how to do email marketing in the Seinfeld secrets, for example. And so you want to break down, what are they getting for the price? What is the individual value of that? That's going to make your product or service justified as far as like why you're charging more expensive than the competition. You should be charging more than the competition. Highly recommend that. Let's talk about social media. Social media. And I changed this from websites too. Because back in the day, we used to have websites, this thing where it had like 48 different links on it. It was stylized like a Facebook page. It had lots of pretty pictures and all these links, and it could capture your email and it could sell your products, and it has the about page. No one goes to websites in 2024. Websites are dead. Text is dead. Long live video, long live social media. That's just the game. It sucks, but you have to play the game if you want to make money online. So websites are dead. Websites were swapped by funnels. What is a funnel, John? A funnel basically is just this. I'm just going to put this as the video sales letter. This is as complicated or as much I would put on a landing page for your website. Number one, at the very top of the page, you should have a could be 10 minutes video sales letter. This guy is a video, and in 11 minutes, it's going to sell you on why you should apply for this program. They're not having the consumer read paragraphs and paragraphs of text. They're not showing them lots of pretty pictures. They're not having them scroll for so much information. They're just saying, stay here at the top of the fold, watch this video, and then if you like what you see, there is only one action to do. Press this button and apply. Our sales team is going to immediately follow up on this and move you to a closed sale or appointment. So you need to also, as business owners, they're like you have to create content, and you have to create video, and then you have to learn also how to do video sales letter to sell your product, because this is what's going to sell on Evergreen, on your website, online, so that you don't have to sell every single person that comes in at the end of the day. It's going to answer all the FAQ questions and so forth. These are just some, I would say these are probably the 4 of the best video sales letter. Each of these products made $1 million in the same day from after this, after they hosted the webinar. These are professionals in marketing. They are designed to get you to buy what they're selling. And but they're excellent as case studies to study, like phenomenally great case studies to learn what does it take to create a really good video sales letter. But they all follow a very simple framework, which is nice. So we're going to review what are basically, let's summarize. What are the things that you need online as a check to make sure? Actually, I skipped a bunch. We skipped the social media. If websites are dead, how are customers going to find you online? Your social media page, your Facebook account, then I would prioritize your Instagram account priority. Then I would tier second down your TikTok account, and then I would tier down the third one would be Facebook. And the one that I'm not going to put on there is LinkedIn. So basically, this is where your customers are going to go to do their due diligence on, are you a legit online business or just a scammer in India, basically. That's what pretty much this is going to do. So you want your Instagram laid out in a very specific way. One, you have the hook or your elevator statement as far as who do you help, how do you help them, what do you help them accomplish. Your lead magnet is not a PDF. Your lead magnet is a video sales letter. Seminar, just like this. I'd like free masterclasses because you have to spend an hour with me. I'm going to blow your mind on all the cool things, and at the very end, pitch at the very end. It's no different than them consuming the content that's on your page, basically. I'm only going to do 2 highlights. The only things that you need, one is your start here, which talks about, it's another video sales letter, and it's talking about what it is that you do, who it is that you help. Mostly it's a lot of spamming of your testimonials, talking about your program, talking about your price, and how to get started. Usually is send a DM. Then you'll have one just for your results. That's just going to be a wall of testimonials of all the people that have had great results with your product or service. Same thing with these 3 videos. You're going to be promoting your lead magnet. You're going to be showing your testimonials. And then this is going to be another video sales letter, basically. Websites are dead. Everything's funnels. People don't even like to go to websites, which is wild now. So let's review. Number 1, getting very specific on who it is that you help, because that is going to determine all of your marketing copy and your imagery, and where are they hanging out online, and your strategy is all going to come down from spending the time, not just targeting or finding that writing down who the ideal client is, but also knowing your competition. That is probably more important, is funnel hacking your competition. Go to Google, type, here's the process. Step one, if you were to ask a fifth grader what to type into Google to find your product or service, those are the keywords that you would use. For example, fitness coach near me or something. Boom, pop that into Google, click on every sponsored click or sponsored ad that's there, because they're spending money on Google, they're buying traffic for those keywords, and you want to know what is their offer. Then you're going to go to all those landing pages. When you go to their landing page, go straight towards their social media profile at the very bottom and check out what they're doing on their Instagram or Facebook, is pretty much or they're only two places that they're going to be posting. Ignore the LinkedIn one. LinkedIn's dead. And so once you find their social media pro, now you're going to find out what is the offer that they're offering. You want to find ones that have offers. You want to find ones that have video sales letters. You want to find ones that are doing social media. They're creating content. They're building their profile. They're building their brand. That's what's going to help you determine what should your product be. Who should you target? What price should you what price should you charge? How can you differentiate yourself from the market? Yeah. And then value ladder, you're not create a $10 to $49 intro low ticket offer, then $1 to $200, and then you can scale up from there. Basically, introduce low ticket offers to help you sell higher ticket services. And then everything's Mafia offers. Everything's basically creating it so that's like a Groupon offer. Pretty much 50% off is like the easiest, like lazy marketer's way of like getting an offer in the public that they're already aware of. Hey, do you want microblading at 50% off instead of 500? It's 249. Great, click here. They don't have to know about your Google reviews, your business or stuff. They're going for the deal. But you could take that same tactic as creating a Groupon style offer for all of everything that you present. And then lastly, we are building our social media profile, creating content, and doing all our traffic and everything there, because most of your leads are going to come from the DMs now. No more people are going to fill out a form, give them the email. No, people don't check their email. They're not going to email SMS. They all want to stay in platform. So that's part one as far as marketing, the things that you need to start getting leads online. Business owners in 2024, what are the apps that you need to work smarter, not harder? And when I say work smarter, not harder, I'm literally saying reducing 20 hours every week to your workload, saving you what would take hours now takes minutes, basically. And that's what I highly recommend is, man, if you're a professional or if you're a business owner and you depend on your computer or your phone, you need to mandatory like take computer classes or computer training or technology training so that you learn how to use what is the newest technology. It's changing every month, especially with AI. Get trained on it to mastery. Some people just dabble in the apps and they're like, yeah, I use Gmail and I just dabble in it, but you're not using the shortcuts in it. Or they're like, yeah, I tried ChatGPT, but you're not creating bots. You're not creating a ChatGPT consultant bot that knows everything about your business. Or you're not using the latest apps. You're still doing everything manually, saving your passwords with Mac or Apple's password manager, Chrome's password manager, or worse, LastPass. You're not using the best, most secure apps to secure the most important asset of your entire business, your passwords. And then knowledge. You're still writing things down on a piece of paper, or you're using Apple Notes and you've got notes in your email, got notes scattered here, got post-it notes everywhere, but you're not consolidated in all of your knowledge in one single app. So let's go through these 7 apps. These 7 apps combined, I would even say each of these apps will save you 20 hours a week. Each of these apps. That's how crazy this is. Because if you think of how much time you waste with trying to deal with technology, let's do the first one, Mac and iPhone. If you're a business owner and you're running PC, man, add an hour task to everything you have to do, because you also have to add troubleshooting Windows to it. And then you trying to get information from your laptop to your phone. Forget it, not happening. Bluetooth, not happening. So that's why Mac. It's not a Mac versus PC kind of thing. The operating system and the functionality, it removes technology as the barrier and everything becomes effortless. That's why people and startups and billion-dollar companies give Macs to their employees and not Windows. Next, every Mac should come with this app, Alfred. Alfred has 3 superpowers in it that's going to save you tons of time. My favorite one is teleporting. I have it here, for example. If I bring up Alfred by just pressing 2 keys, boop, boop, little search bar pops up. I didn't touch my mouse. I don't want to touch my mouse. Every time you touch your mouse, that takes time. I'm going to take me to, where's a place to go? Let's go Facebook ads. So I have a bunch of Facebook bookmarks. I click that button and it's immediately, I don't want to show because it's actually going to show password logins. But it will actually take me to that Facebook page in a separate tab. So it'll actually open up, teleport there, which is super fast. So teleporting is one. Second, it remembers all of your clipboard history. So every time you copy something, picture, image, text, it remembers everything. So say, for example, if I do Option V, see all these things here, $2.99, expert coaching, here's an image, here's text, here's a note, blah, 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 blah. All of these links are all things I've copied as of today, and I can retrieve all of them anytime throughout the day. So if I copy something in the morning, I can retrieve it later at night. I'm like, I don't have to hunt for it. So clipboard history is a dope hack. And then lastly, I've just started using in it, Alfred, is snippets. So if I type, do I have, let's see if I type, colon J, no, it doesn't do it here. Let's do it in Notepad. So like snippets, let's see if I do it here, colon J, yeah. So if I do colon and then add J as the triggering, it basically looks for 2 keys that match. They will automatically delete that and then retype any phrase or quote or paragraph that I want. So as soon as I press J, it deletes and types my whole name, Jonathan. So I don't want to type my name, Jonathan, 14 times a day, basically. So it's that. So imagine it could be an email, it could be a text, it could be paragraphs of copy. So everything that you copy, you get to save. Otter, this has been the app of 2023, and I'm amazed that this people just have so much fun with Otter. Otter is like having a personal secretary like Siri that will write down anything that you say or anything that is said in a room by any person perfectly word for word, plus it will record the audio and give you a little like word for word, like you're like singing sing along kind of thing. It's like following the text with the audio recording. So for example, I left a client's business. I was sitting in traffic on the way home. My hands are busy on the steering wheel. I said, I'm not going to turn on Siri, but I'm going to say, hey Sally, open up Otter. And Siri or Sally will open up Otter. And then I just press record and then I start dictating my notes. I start saying, these are the things that I want. I just brain dump. Do this step 1. Oh, no. Do this first and then do this and then do this. And then this is the goal. And then we want to do this. Oh, they also mentioned this, this, and this. Blah, 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 blah. Otter's going to record all of it and then give you a nice little text file. Super easy. It will sort it by who said things. Yeah, it's so handy. Then you give it to the next app, Chat GPT. Mandatory. There's a lot of mandatories in the seminar, I'm noticing, but I'm basically it's more of a public awareness that people aren't using these apps, and it's shocking because you won't have a job next month or next year. Like at this rate, if you're this far behind technology. 2023 was AI, was the introduction of you need AI. AI works, and if you're not using it in your work or business, your competition is, and you'll be replaced, or you'll no longer be able to keep up with market share. ChatGPT, it's basically like, I'm not going to say it's like replacing Google. It's basically like a college intern that you could assign any task, and then they could become an expert in any subject matter to answer a quick question or two. Basically, they could become a doctor, and I've diagnosed families' severe health conditions like knee replacements. I've diagnosed with ChatGPT. I've won 2 court cases, small claims court case using ChatGPT. The defendant had to pay for he had to upgrade law firms midway through as soon as he saw the letter that ChatGPT spit out to reply back. We were just using ChatGPT and training it on the knowledge of the court case, and it was spitting out answers that he kept having to upgrade law firms to keep replying. And then he was like, "This we need to settle. Like this is I don't like where this is going. You have a very expensive law team." I was like, "We're using ChatGPT." it helps to know how to use these tools, which is super cool. I've taught another business owner how to write a book using ChatGPT because ChatGPT can do pictures and do text. So he's wanted to write a book, but it would cost him over $10,000 and take over a year to write. I know a lot of people have an ambition to write books. That's probably the one thing that once I teach business owners how to do this, is we actually go through the project of writing their first book using ChatGPT. And what we do in an hour would take them months of, like, I worked with one business owner. We had the rough draft animated and 5 chapters done in an hour. And it's like, what? And it's more beautifully illustrated than if you were to spend $10,000 per image. He couldn't hire an artist to illustrate it as well as it did. Let's finish with these last three. Password management. Everything online is, dude, if you're memorizing passwords, you're wasting time. If you're saving your passwords in Excel, in Apple Notes, or in Google's Chrome extension or Apple's autofill in Safari, do not use those apps. They're not, I would say not secure, but not 100% reliable, and not cross-device. They don't like different devices. So highly recommend. It's like $3 a month. 1Password is the number one password manager that I train all of, not just business owners, but their teams how to use, so that their business is secure. Because 2023, everyone started using AI for bots and for scamming. Now in 2024, they're going to use more AI and bots for scamming. So if you don't have a secure password for all of your passwords, you don't want to get hacked in 2024. It's going to cost you so much money. This one's a fun one, Spark. Everyone I've met, especially business owners, have more than one email that they're managing. I'm managing 5 emails. They're all email inbox 0, meaning I could go in and they all have a clean inbox. There's nothing in there, no spam, no anything that comes in is only priority that's there. And that is how that is accomplished is 2 things. 1, the right process, the right training, and then 2, Spark. Spark allows you to manage multiple emails in one app or one client. It works on your phone too. Then you don't have to log into 14 different email accounts. It does everything in there, and you get like email templates. You can have a team manage your email on your behalf. You can send it. I really like it because you can also do calendar scheduling in it, and then you can integrate Zoom with it. So you could, from Spark, create a calendar event, then link a Zoom already attached to it all in one go, without opening Zoom, without opening Gmail or app or any of that. That's super handy. Lastly, Notion. I'm going to keep raving for Notion. All of last year and all of 2024, I haven't found a replacement for it. Notion is basically what's your digital notebook. It is your digital brain. Basically, there's too much knowledge to remember all these things, passwords and information and tasks and documents. It's too much information to manage. I have everything. I gotta log into it too. I don't want to log into it. I have another YouTube video that goes into my Notion setup, but Notion is going to be your digital brain to remember all the tasks and all the documents and all the important facts that you need to remember, organize, so that you could quickly, what I judge knowledge apps is how easy is it for me to store any type of media. Notion, you could give it a video, PDF, image, link, file, anything, and it just says thank you, holds it. And then the next step is how quickly can you retrieve it in the whole app. Can you quickly find that one document? Can you quickly find that one task? Can you quickly find that one email next to that client's name or something? All that's going to be in Notion. It's going to game changing. That's probably the number one app the business owners I train are most excited about and building and customizing, because they double their brain without having to do any memory hacks or tips or any of that kind of thing. So in summary, at the end of the day, all of this is just to introduce 2 things. There are new technology out there. There are new processes or step-by-step habits of things of how people are working smarter, not harder. And third, training and education is probably the biggest gap that's going to help you get from where you are today to where you need to be, is just learning how to use all these cool tools, learning how to do marketing, how to get leads, and then eventually go back to that scale where basically you can go from beginner, or not beginner, but from working in your business all the way to working on your business. And the only thing that we do is just monthly technology consulting and 50% off for the first month. Basically, we meet every week for 1 hour to go over your marketing and your sales automation. We're going to build your operations and automate it. We're going to train you and your team and technology. We're going to upgrade all of your technology so you're using all the coolest things and you're trained on how to use it so that you're working smarter, not harder, using the latest digital tools so that you're not wasting time. Because at the end of the day, we're going to ask just one question. What is your hourly rate? And if we save you just 20 hours in the first week, how much is that going to be as an ROI? And then is $5.99 less than that? We aim to 3x our ROI basically.